everyone. Welcome to the Cynthia Linox Show. I am your host, Cynthia Linox, here again to remind you that this is the best season of your life. It will always be the best season of your life. I encourage you to really continue to speak those words so that it will, words are energy. So as you continue to speak those words, you will see how things begin to start shaping up in your life. We talk a lot. Well, my thing on this show is uh, encouraging you to go through a journey of self discovery. And it's important to understand that the journey never ends. This journey never expires. Why? Because you are always evolving. You're always learning things about yourself. You're discovering things about yourself. Because remember, you've had years of indoctrination that's formed the identity that you have. And what you're doing now is really shedding all the things that no longer serve you and the things that you discover that are really not you. It's like, I don't really like that. I don't really like this color. I don't really like this flavor. I don't, you start discovering who you really are. And when you discover who you really are, then you will show up in your true, authentic self, with the confidence and the assertiveness that comes with being authentic. You wouldn't have to try to please or conform to situations or please people or even be afraid of what people think or what they say. Why? Because you are functioning in your true, authentic self. So uh, knowing that there is no expiration date, that this evolution, this self discovery, this journey never ends. It expires when you expire. When we expire, that's when it ends. But in the meantime, you're going to be discovering things every day, every week, every month, every year. You may be functioning a certain way now. And 5 months from today, you may say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. And you just change. So allow yourself the freedom to evolve at your own pace. At your own pace. Pay attention to everything. Pay attention to things that triggers you, things that bothers you, things that makes you light up, things that makes you happy. And with that, as you continue to grow, your whole mindset will change. Your standards will change. Standards are like boundaries. And you have standards even for yourself. You have your own style, you have your own swag, you have your own way of seeing and doing things. I shared in my broadcast last week how I had a situation at a store, and I needed to exchange something and they were giving me a hard time. Well, and I was determined that I had to get it exchanged. But in dialoguing with the personnel, I didn't get ugly, I didn't get rude, I didn't get, disrespectful. No, why? Because it's not my style. Those are the standards that I have for myself. I approach situation or respond to situation in a whole different way to get the results that I want. So your standards will change. The standards that you set for yourself, because the standards that you set for yourself is how the world is going to treat you. That's how the world will see you. That's how they will address you based on the standards that you project. And with that, of course, the boundaries that you set. All of that has to do with your belief system. Do you know that your entire life, your whole life is guided by the beliefs that's in your mind? And your belief system, your beliefs are made up of thoughts. This whole computer system, your brain, your mind, they're made up of thoughts. And these thoughts are thoughts that are influenced by teachings and indoctrination from when you were small, or even things that we learn now. And now you're coming to realize or to figure out whether or not you want to submit to those limitations. Because a belief system, in most cases, if it's from the outside in, they're limiting beliefs. Because why? They're not your beliefs. Your thoughts are energy. So the things that you think about, they're energy because your thoughts become your words. Whatever you think is what you're going to say based on the thoughts that are established in your mind. And what you say becomes your emotion. You bring some emotion into it. I know when I have a conversation with someone, I bring my emotion, whether it's about, regardless of what it is, if it's a disagreement or something that excites me, you bring your emotion into it, and based on those emotions, you make choices, and then your choices becomes habit. So you see, but it starts here. It starts with the thoughts that are embedded, that are rooted, that are ingrained into your mind. That's why we call it mindset. Your thoughts create a mindset, which is a belief system. You can't skirt around it. That's what it is. And you have the same way you allow those thoughts to embed your mind, you can change them because it's what's going to create the life that you want, is what's going to bring you into your true authentic self so that you can live the life that you want. So now that you know that your journey doesn't come to an end, your thoughts, your mind, you need to juice it up. You need to juice up your life and make sure that you are living your life now. Remember, your purpose in life, the purpose of life is pleasure. The purpose of life is pleasure. To have fun. Think of it. Why else were you created? What's the purpose for which you were created? If every human being thought of that, my purpose in life is to have fun. It's pleasure. And within that frame of thought, you will discover what lights you up. And whatever it is that lights you up, therein lies your purpose. Therein lies your purpose. But the overall purpose of life, what do you think we get so excited when a baby is born? Baby is born and it brings joy and pleasure, and all we want to do is to give the baby things and gifts and new clothes and we you know fix up, decorate the baby's room with new furniture, and we paint the walls and we put all these caricatures on the wall and all that. Why? We want to create an environment of pleasure, of delight, of fun. We have those little umbrellas that we put above the crib that goes around with colors and things of that. Why do we do that? Because we want the baby to have fun. We want to create a harmony in the midst of this baby's evolution. So we do things that are pleasurable for the baby, things that brings pleasure to the baby. Just think of it. When the baby is teething, what do? We get this thing, this I don't know what the name of it is, but this thing that that I guess massages the gum, and it soothes the irritation or the discomfort, brings pleasure to the baby. So the baby is not crying all the time, and things of that nature. We create an environment for a baby, even for children as they start growing. We want to do things that brings pleasure. Look at Christmas. Some parents get themselves in a lot of debt buying presents, gifts, toys for their children. They grow, and we ourselves as parents, we want to give the best to our children. Where does it stop? Where does it ends that it's no longer pleasure and now comes problems and stress and anxiety and sadness and pain and suffering? Where does the pleasure ends and we come into this new phase of want and can't do this and can't do that? When we were growing, to the best of the ability of our parents, they did the best to create an atmosphere that was one of joy, pleasure, fun. Where does it end? Who changed it? Who changed it? So we have to really recapture that whole awareness, consciousness. We have to recapture it. We have to get it back. We have to get it back. We have to rediscover. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. This is how it was, and this is how it's been. And when did that change? Did it change when you become an adolescent, or when you became an adult? When you were, released on your own? When did it change? My friends, it changed with a mindset based on the information that we've been given as we grew, the things that we learned, the things that you were taught, the way you see yourself. If you see yourself with limitations, then that's what you become. Or if you see yourself with a mindset of, I can do this and I can do that, and yes, I can. If that's the way you see yourself, then that's the way you will perform. But as you go back to rediscover your original blueprint, you will realize that it's one of pleasure, one of joy, one of fun. And one of the things that I discovered in this whole journey, because I am fascinated with this journey, because I myself am going through a journey and I am consciously aware of every step. One of the things that I've been paying attention to is sexual energy. We don't talk at all about sexual energy because it's taboo. Well, that's not taboo for me anymore. It's not something that you talk about. Like, you don't go out talking about your sexual life, but if it comes up, then we need to have the freedom, the liberty, and the maturity to talk about sexual energy. And most people are not aware of the benefits, even the health benefits of their sexual energy. Sex is not only to procreate. That's that's separate. You procreate because you have sex, but sex is for pleasure. Sex is for our enjoyment, not only to procreate. That happens, but it's for pleasure. And if you only understood the benefits of sexual energy, you would pay attention to it. You know, there is this, and when I say sexual energy, obviously it has to do with the culmination when you have sex. It's having an orgasm. And with that, sexual energy is so instrumental in every area of our lives. It takes care of anxiety, depression, gives you better sleep, it improves your immune system, really. Your heart, it's good for your heart. What else? I have a list of things here that I your self-esteem, it improves your self-esteem. Just imagine your self-esteem. But when you become aware of your sexual and start really admitting and start paying attention to your own sexual energy, just imagine. And whether you're married or have a partner, or if you don't have a partner, then you just simply have to love yourself. It's that simple. But you have to approach this without guilt, without condemnation, without judgment, without shame, without blame, and understand that it's a natural function. Learn your anatomy. Learn your anatomy and know how you function. And accept that it's natural. Do you know that after when you reach a certain age, your own anatomy shows up and tells you that it's there. You don't go looking for it. It shows up. You become aware of the changes in your body. So you have to give it the honor and the respect. I'm sharing this, from a mature and healthy standpoint. I know that there are situations where there are trauma, or some people that have been through abuse. That's a different show. That's not, this show is talking about simply the benefits of sexual energy, understanding your anatomy, and knowing, acknowledging the the uh, the health benefits as a result of sexual energy. And again, whether you're married, or if you have a partner, or if you're alone, you can love yourself. And you're an adult, you understand what I mean by that. But you have to approach this whole thing in a natural way, without judgment, without thinking of it, because the whole thing, when you talk about sexuality, it's so taboo. It is so taboo that some parents don't take the time to share with their teenage kids what to expect and what happens with their anatomy. But you've got to, because if you don't tell them, they'll learn it somewhere. The point is you need to understand the benefits of your sexual energy. The benefits of your sexual energy. Imagine that it improves your self-esteem. We don't think of it in those terms because it is so taboo. It helps you sleep better, takes away stress and anxiety and depression. Sexual energy, it's all energy. And it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying. It is real. And you can either approach it from a traditional taboo, this is not good, this is not, standpoint, or you could just say, yes, I embrace my sexuality. I embrace the experience of an orgasm. It's the highest pleasure one can experience. Absolutely. But you've got to clear your mind from the indoctrination, from the training that says, and I know some people, because some people have issues or training that it's not good, and a whole bunch of different types of doctrines around sexuality. You have to deal with that. But if you come to an understanding, and again, this is between you and you. This is between you and yourself. Or if you have a partner, you discover each other's pleasure. But when it has to do with you, it's between you and you. And you approach it unapologetically. You approach it, you can't be embarrassed with yourself or ashamed of yourself. No. Discover your anatomy and know how your body functions, and learn to bring yourself to the highest peak of physical pleasure. that you will ever enjoy, because it's normal, it's natural, it is natural. This show is not for everyone, and I know that, and that's okay. If this doesn't resonate with you, there's so many choices, there's so many options, there's so many life coach and shows out there that may resonate, that may have, you know, share in line with your concept of life, your perspective, and so forth. That's fine. This is for you that pays attention and are in the process of discovering who you are, and to know and acknowledge, recognize that your sexual energy is is an important part of your evolution. To understand it, to know it, to feel it. Remember, it starts with thoughts. Once you know and understand, just think of it. It's even, it says also that it relieves pain and it helps improve your immune system. It Your sexual energy helps improve your immune system. That alone would cause me to pay attention. It helps improve your immune system. Your immune system is made up of, cells and, the organs and so forth that work together in harmony in order to ward off diseases, sickness and disease, to protect you, to keep you well. And it keeps, the cells keep regenerating itself and rejuvenating itself as well. And once your immune system like wards off certain type of sickness, it stands at attention to make sure it doesn't come back. It's something else. Study it. It is That's why you have to take care of your immune system and feed it and nurture it with the right food substances. It improves your immune system, helps you sleep well, improves your self-esteem. Who shares that, or who thinks of that? Unless you're, of course, attending a sex class or something like that. But I'm talking from a standpoint of you evolving, discovering who you are, and understanding how that part of your, especially, people that are single, solo and things of that nature. You think there is no opportunity for you? Well, yes, there are, but it all depends on what thoughts you have in your mind. You can pleasure yourself and have an experience that would help your self-esteem, that will improve your sleep, your immune system, your heart health, stress, reduce stress, depression, anxiety. One study shows that and I chuckle about it. I said, it's over here. It says that shows. Let me see here. There's even studies that shows that they help you have better skin and hair. And here's another one here. It relieves pain. Sexual energy relieves pain. They improve your mood through the release of oxytocin, dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, and prolactin. Not to mention, they help you feel more connected to yourself and your partner. Isn't that beautiful? Your sexual energy. You see, these are things that you're not dependent, from the outside in. The understanding comes from you knowing who you are, from you acknowledging and admitting that you have got this whole system set up that will benefit you, that will help you, that will help your self esteem. And once, because think about it, if you've been indoctrinated for years that sex is bad and sex is only to procreate and to enjoy sexual pleasure is not going to, things, all of that, it becomes difficult for you to even have a good self-esteem because you're thinking, and some people go, the spectrum is from dirty, bad sex or, the other way. The thing is, you have to understand what works for you. But first of all, you have to understand that this whole mechanism, this whole system is yours. Everybody has sexual energy. What do you do with yours? Are you using it to your benefit? Are you using it for, to improve your immune system? If you have, I don't know, sickness, disease, whatever, pay attention to that. It helps your immune system. If you have problems sleeping, knocks you out. It does. Gives you a nice, peaceful sleep. Your heart, it helps your heart. Better heart health, possibly including lower risk of heart disease. When I read that, I thought, this is just fantastic. And to know that it's mine, it's my own sexual energy. Remember, these are new thoughts that are being fed to your mind. And remember, the thoughts create words. So you would say, "Oh my goodness, I did not realize that my sexual energy can help my self-esteem. And it can also boost my immune system to keep me healthy and robust and energetic. And it also helps me sleep and it also helps my heart." You talk to yourself and you say that. And with that comes the emotion of gratitude. It's like, wow, this is mine. It's like you having a system, an internal system that works for you, that works in your behalf, but it's yours, and you don't have to share it with anyone. It's yours. And as a couple, you can experiment with each other and enjoy each other, you know sexually, if you have a partner, whatever. But if you don't, then it's solo, and that is okay. That is perfectly okay. To me, that would be like so fascinating to know that I can do that for me unapologetically. But the thing is, you know, I share this with you, and I know that some of you, it makes you nervous or uncomfortable, but that's something that you can work out. The point is this: once you discover the things that work for you, it's just this week, as I am always doing research and studying and doing things, and just for my own benefit, and I come and I share it with you. But once I discover, like me discovering this, that's a big plus for me, surely for my husband, unapologetically. And now I'm going to be thinking of it, and now I may even, as I because I talk to myself. You should too. Again, your thoughts create your words. And as I talk to myself, or if I have something to share with someone, depending on the setting, it's not something you go around talking about, but it's something that you share, given the setting, adult setting with other friends and so forth. Now that you have the understanding, it's something that you would share. And with that comes the emotion, knowing that you have what it takes to help yourself, to help your self esteem. Just imagine that. Just imagine that emotion to help your self esteem. And then at the same time, you're thinking, your immune system, to boost your immune. And once you start thinking those thoughts, and you start making choices. You make choices as to what you do and so forth, and let it become part of you. You don't have to go any further. It's yourself. It's you. It's your life. And it's your body, it's your anatomy. And get to a place where you don't see shame, or where you don't feel condemned or convicted that it's something bad, because it's not. You realize that we are all here because two people had sex. You know that. We are all here because two people had sex. You know what I mean? And of course, sex procreates. Yeah, that's it. But in the meantime, many times you have sex and you don't procreate, but what? You have pleasure. But it's people that have, and it's interesting that this has come up because this wasn't part of my, you know, lineup. But people that have problems with this whole topic of sexual energy are the same people that have a problem with the thought, the idea that the purpose of life is pleasure. That doesn't set well with everyone, because people like to think that they have a greater cause and so forth. But we're talking about self. We're talking about you and me. We're talking about us. Again, this show has to do with the self, unapologetically. The way we self-care. We are number one, taking care of the self first, putting on your face mask, like when you're in the plane, put on your face mask, your oxygen mask first, and then you take care of the people next to you and so forth. It's the self. We are talking about the self first. So unless you really grasp that life is designed for pleasure, for fun, it will be tough for you to grasp the whole concept of your sexual energy. They kind of go hand in hand, because with sexual energy comes sexual pleasure. And not everyone is comfortable talking about sexual energy. And again, it all depends on how you see it. If you see it as something natural, normal, then you're fine. But if you see it as something as taboo, then you're going to have to do a wash. You're going to have to get rid of all that thinking about sex being bad, and understand the benefits, the health benefits of sex, of having an orgasm, how it helps your immune system, helps you sleep, helps your heart, self esteem, reduces stress, anxiety, depression, all of that. All of that. Natural pain relief. That was a surprise to me. I never I knew a lot of the other benefits, but natural pain relief, because there's a difference between experiencing pain and classifying it as suffering. Some people have pain, but they're not suffering. Your mindset, your thoughts can produce suffering with pain, but pain is pain. And evidently, your sexual energy can relieve certain pain or pain in your body. You know, it's something that I part of the research. Relieve pain, isn't that something? So if you have a situation where you're experiencing pain, pay attention to your sexual energy. Respect it and honor it. See all those little things, those little details. And this all is all part of your self discovery. We don't talk about it because, again, it's taboo. And it's so ingrained in our minds that it's not, that it's something you don't even address, that, it's probably making you uncomfortable right now if you're watching this show with someone else. But I'm telling you, your sexual energy plays a major part in your evolution. And it's best that you understand the health benefits of your sexual energy to your body. Learn your anatomy, learn how it works, the things that gives you pleasure and how and so forth, and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do to reap the benefits thereof. And then you have to work out this whole, you have to get rid of the old stinking thinking. You have to get rid of the taboo. And you have to figure that out because, your mind, you're the one that control your thoughts. And to get into a mindset that it's okay for me to discover this or that or the other. It's okay for me to it's okay for me to self pleasure or enjoy great sex with my partner. You have to get rid of all the thoughts and the indoctrination that it's and all the taboo that it's not good. This show is not for everyone. And again, if it doesn't resonate with you, then your choice is there to go someplace else, because it's not meant to offend you or to offend anyone. It's a fact. You can look it up yourself. The benefits of sexual energy. And then, one thing leads you to another and things of that nature. You are discovering who you are. You are discovering who you are, and you are finding out what works for you, the things that work for you, and how it benefit you to become your true, authentic self, to grow in self-esteem and confidence and assertiveness, and to be bold and to live a fulfilled life, a meaningful life. As I said before, you have to juice it up. You have to juice it up. A life of excitement, positivity, and energy. Juice it up or energize your life. It's time to juice it up. And the thing about it, as you watch this show, it's just you and me. Excuse me. So you are getting the information, you have heard the information, and you can do what you need to do a wash, to cleanse your mind of the negative things around sex or around your sexual energy. Just understand that it's you and it's your system. It's not like you're borrowing somebody else's system or borrowing something from the outside where people, no, no, no. It's you and you. And whatever it is that you need to do yourself or with your partner, your spouse, then you take care of yourself. Understand the benefits of your sexual energy and how it works for you. Put it to the test. See if it doesn't boost your immune system, makes you sleep better, relieves stress, helps your self esteem. Put it to the test. And if it doesn't work, I know it works for me. All of it. All of it. I pay a lot of attention to my own immune system. I saw the doctor Monday for, physical. And it was interesting because when I go to her, I just love to hear her say, no, everything is good, everything is good, no issues at all. And then I said to her something like, I said, I have this thing, and my I keep clearing my throat, and I think it's allergy or something to that effect. And she recommended something and so forth. But I love to hear her say that, you're fine, everything is good. And it's so now that I'm aware that my sexual energy helps my immune system, I may double up on my sexuality. It's just when when you hear that, and now in my mind, I'm going to be thinking, wow, okay, if my sexual energy helps my immune system, then perfect. If it helps my self esteem, great. If it helps me sleep well, great. If it helps my heart, great. I'm going to be thinking in those terms. You see how you add, your mindset. My mind now is, has this whole, uh, has this whole program, uh, sexual energy, and then it has all the benefits. And I'm thinking now, how it's helping me. And that's what happens. So I get excited about it. What's that? My emotions. Then what happens? My emotions, what? Will influence my choices. My choices to have more sex, or, to be mindful of my, again, sexual and my sexuality. Because I'm aware, consciously aware of the benefits. It makes me happy when I can visit the doctor and get that kind of report. Now I'm going to be more conscious. And I encourage you to do the same, because what happens is that when you create a program like that for your mind, that's what you will be thinking about. And as you think more about that, that's what you become. As you think more about the benefits of your own personal, individual sexual energy, you will reap the benefits of it. But you have to approach that without being shy, and it may take a while. Without being shy, without being judgmental on yourself. I know that sometimes we can feel, uh, we judge ourselves as impure because of, again, teachings and indoctrination and things of that nature, taboo. Socially, it's just a big taboo. So it's not an easy thought process to get into, because it has to overshadow, it has to take over all the taboos that we have had about sexuality. But if it's going to benefit you, my friend, then it's you or you, because no one is going to do it for you. If it's going to benefit you, then you have got to pay attention. You have got to pay attention because of all the benefits. And most of all, you're to boost your immune system. For me, that's a big one. That is a big one, because when your immune system is at its optimum, then you're healthy. You're free of pain, you're no sickness and diseases. It's just, if you can help your immune system. And then, of course, externally, your self-esteem. When you have a healthy sexual understanding, then your self-esteem is like off the chart. That's serious. That's something that we need to pay attention to and understand. Bring clarity to your mind, not shun it or not say, well, I don't care about this or I don't care about that. Well, I mean, helps you sleep well and it helps your heart. Your heart is just pumping all this oxygen and blood into your system every day. Your heart is so faithful and you got to take care of it. It's faithful to you. You've got to take care of it. You have to take care of it. So I'm going to leave you with that. It's this is something that I didn't really plan to get into, but it's important that you take care of yourself. We need to prioritize ourselves. You need to take care of yourself. Try to do something new. Try to experiment with, just life. Allow life to want you back. Just because you keep an open mind and you keep you remain curious about life. You want to set goals for yourself, little goals. You want to raise your standards based on the thoughts in your mind. And remember, all this whole belief system, and I talk a lot about belief system because that is what governs your life. It's a set of belief system that governs your life. It's the program that's in your mind. That is what governs your whole life, your belief system. And in most cases, it's limited. Most people live with a limiting belief system. Why? Because we don't allow ourselves to be open minded and to be curious about life and to embrace what life has to offer. Different things and different information and different people and different cultures and we don't allow ourselves to explore. And hopefully, as you are discovering these things, as you are discovering yourself and discovering what works for you, what doesn't work for you, the things you like, the things you don't like, the things you accept, the things you reject, the things that don't apply to you now, and the things that you have learned that, oh, wait a minute, I can incorporate that into my life, then you have come a long way, my friend. You have come a long way. You've come a long way. Don't let anyone put the brakes on you. Don't let things that you hear, and I don't want to think of this show as something motivational. I would rather think of it as a show that causes transformation in people, inspirational, transformational, so that your life will change. Because if you're simply motivated and you just hear this and you just go off and do nothing, then there's no fruit. It's just a great message that you've heard and that's it. But if you're inspired, or if you are being transformed by changing your thinking, changing your program, the program that's in your mind, if you're being transformed, then you will see fruit. Why? Because your life will change. You will see changes in your life. You'll see that, you no longer want to do this kind of stuff. You no longer want to go there. You don't no longer want to believe this or believe that, or, your whole thought process, your whole desires will change, and with that comes the emotion, comes the emotion of joy and pleasure. You see how that works? Why? Because positivity, a new set of energies is working in your mind, in your brain, on your program, and you will start enjoying life in a whole different way. You'll start getting pleasure out of life, not just living, but getting pleasure out of life. That's the whole idea, my friend, is for you to get pleasure out of life. Juicing up your life, is a personal journey, and it means different things for different people. It means different things for different people. I know what it means for me. You should know what it means for you. It's energizing your life, it's juicing it up. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out, because nothing grows in the comfort zone. Nothing. So you want to get out. You want to get out and be your true, authentic self. Pay attention to every area of your life, your thoughts, your feelings, your words, your emotions, your choices, and all of that becomes your habit. All of that becomes your habit. If you're in the habit of, let's say, exercising, it starts with a thought. You get up and that's how you start your day. But it becomes a habit. You don't even, it's like when you get up and you brush your teeth. That's not something you think about. Why? Because it's already filed on the program. It's already programmed in your mind. You get up, and the first thing you do is to brush your Teeth. Why? Because it's a habit. It has become a habit. You don't even think about it anymore. And that's what the other areas of your life, that's what has to happen. Especially those that uh that are significant, things that are significant, that's going to bring you joy and happiness, and just really open doors for you to really enjoy the pleasures of life. You want it to become a habit. Somebody invites you out, and just in your mind, whether you accept or not, but if it's to have fun, if you're up to it, then go. And when you go, know in your mind that you're going to have fun, it's going to be a moment of pleasure, that you're going to enjoy the company of your friends, meet new friends, enjoy the atmosphere. Again, you're adding positivity to your life. You're adding an energy of positivity. So you go, and guess what? You have fun. You enjoy your surroundings, the people around you, the people that you're with. You can do it. All this change is important to your life. The things that you're discovering, that's shaping you into your own identity. You're getting rid of the identity that's been imposed upon you, and you're feeling, this whole thing, now that I think about it, this whole thing about sexual energy, you know, that social construct, society, tradition, what society have done, society has told us, programmed in our minds, that it's bad, and it's something we don't talk about. It's something we don't talk about sex. Period. And so, what has it done? It has made us retreat, and it has silenced us. That's why sometimes you see a young person, you know, become pregnant. Why? Because, the parents didn't prepare them and explain to them, and, teenage pregnancy, because it's taboo. But once you start seeing the benefits of sexual energy the way I shared it with you, it'll change your whole concept. And you will start respecting and honoring your body, yourself, and know that The act of sex is not bad, it's not dirty, and it's not forbidden. But you have to know that. See, in my mind, that's established. You have to know that for yourself. And that can only happen when you remove the old chip and replace it with something new, which is which is acknowledging your sexual energy and knowing the health benefits of it. And when I say health benefits, I mean, not only health benefits, but pleasure as well. Pleasure. Because the pleasure of it is what releases the stress, anxiety, depression, and so forth. So it's the pleasure of sex and having an orgasm. And with that, my friend, I'm going to leave you with that so that you can give it some thought. It's a little different subject, but that's fine. Again, this show is not for everyone. If you feel any kind of way with this show, then it's not for you. But if it resonates, if the things that I've shared resonates with you, then it's for you. Then it's for you. So, every Thursday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have a date right here. And if you can't make it, every Thursday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can always visit us see the icons down here I guess it would be to your left, my right, whatever. Anyway, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, you can always pick up the show 24/7. And every week, it's once a week, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And again, it streams on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and so forth. And with that, I'm going to say, ta-ta, you have a fantastic weekend that's coming up. And take some time to give it some thought, because I think this is a very important subject that I shared today. And you really want to make sure that you get rid of all the stuff. You want to get rid of all the taboos, and sometimes it can be hard to get rid of all that, because after so many years of indoctrination, it's not easy to just like say ta-ta and just get rid of it. So you're going to have to work on that and get with yourself, or get with your spouse, or get with your partner, and really enjoy the benefits of it. So with that, amigos, I will see you. Ta-ta, au revoir. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. Hasta luego. Hasta la vista. Ciao, amigos.